Welcome back to day number 24 of the Red Letter Challenge. In Matthew 19, people bring their children to Jesus so he might heal them. The disciples told the parents to back away and to stop bringing the children to Jesus. Here was Jesus' response: "Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of heaven." Just one chapter earlier, Jesus said, "I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Many times I've wondered, what does Jesus mean when he tells us we must become like little children in order to enter into his kingdom? I've always thought it was more important to grow and mature and become adults, and now he's telling us to become the opposite? I have two little boys, Nathan and Brady. Practically every day I look at them and ask, why would God want me to become like my two little boys? Is there something that they do or something that they have that I'm missing? So let's take a look at their lives and notice some things about them. They are very demanding, often quite fussy. They're rather selfish, do not share well. They whine and complain frequently. In addition, they don't understand nearly as much as I do. They don't really contribute to society all that much yet. They aren't paying any bills, and they make huge messes wherever they go and expect someone else to pick up the pieces. They have no concept of the future and are only focused on the present. They can't take care of themselves and are completely dependent on others. I do love them, by the way, but why in the world would God tell me to become like them to enter into his kingdom? There's one other thing I notice about them, and I think this is what Jesus is getting at. They both have very sensitive spirits. They both feel really bad when they've done something wrong. They are genuinely sorry, and they know they've messed up. And that's where God wants us, to be genuinely sorry and repentant. He wants us to acknowledge that we're imperfect, because when we acknowledge we're imperfect, we are then open to receiving Christ's grace, which makes us perfect. This echoes the very first beatitude in Matthew 5, where Jesus says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." The reality is the same here. The poor in spirit recognize they aren't perfect, feel genuinely sorry for it, and receive the grace of Jesus Christ to make them perfect. Children are really good examples of how to be poor in spirit, and so in this way, they are a model for us. You might wonder how this devotion fits into our week of serving. So far, we've talked about putting others' needs before ours, we've talked about serving those who won't be able to help us, and we've served our neighbors. Time and time again in his ministry, Jesus mentions how important children are. It's important that as we are doing the Red Letter Challenge, we invite our children to come along with us. The principles we are learning and the themes we're putting into practice are things every child should know. We have a responsibility to model to our children what God's love looks like.